Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and hope everyone's having an awesome day today. Today I want to talk about some of the late 19th century and early 20th century baseball card issues. And we're going to start first with the one of the first card issues, the largest card issues back in the 1800s, and that's the 1887 Old Judge. There were other sets produced before that. They were small sets, not widely distributed, but this was the biggest set back in those days. Very similar to the T206 as far as that it was distributed over a 3-year period. It was distributed from 1887 to 1890. The T206s were distributed from 1909 to 1911. So, you know, there's many of those around, especially the T206s. I'm not showing any of those right here. There's many videos on those cards. And, you know, PSA's graded over 250,000 of those cards. So going back to the 1887 Old Judge, it's referred to as the N172 series. It was issued again from 1887 to 1890. The Goodwin Company's Old Judge Baseball Series depicts hundreds of ball players for more than 40 major and minor league teams, as well as some boxers and wrestlers. The cards measure 1.5 by 2.5, and they have photographs from the Hall Studio in New York that were pasted onto thick cardboard. These photographs are sepia images, and they display in some cards as a white or in some cases a pink hue. And you see some of those that are kind of pinkish. I'm not a big fan of those. But anyway, they all have the Goodwin Company, New York at the base on the bottom. That's the one that prints them. So I'll show you all of that in a couple of minutes. There were actually more than 4,500 different types of cards and variations that are known to exist. They were inserted in packs of Old Judge and Gypsy Queen cigarettes. The Old Judge cards are easily viewed as one of the greatest of all hobby issues. You know, these were definitely some of the, the most desirable cards, baseball cards back in the old days. Anybody that collects these type of cards like I do. You could see there, this is the Hatfield. You could see the background, and that was a studio picture, and you could see how the back is just a scenery there. And also, it has a Goodwin and Company copyright there. There it is. And again, Old Judge, copyright. This one is in a PSA 6. This is just a common player. This is there's only 3 of these particular cards that have been graded. This is the highest graded example. But, and the backs are all blank. As you can see, that mark is from the scratch from the case. The card is clean, it's just the case has a scratch in the back. But you can see the back is a thick card stock. And that's what it looks like there. So when they were released, and this is the latest version, even though they are going to say 1887 on them, some of them were released in later years, and this is one of them. You could see the different version where the information is on the bottom. And the first year that it came out was this one here. And this one, as you can see the difference, it has the Old Judge on the top. Still has the Goodwin and Company New York logo on the bottom and the player. But again, it was in a studio. This one just plain background. They got a little bit fancier in the next ones they released. But this was one of the first ones that were released, the first year that it was released. And they have a number on the top right-hand corner there. And you can see this one is in a nice uniform. This is one of the top cards. There's very few, I think there's only 4 or 5 that are graded a 9. And this one is graded an 8. I guess it's an 8.5. Just an old SGC label there, but it's one of the rare ones that are very, very high grade. I'll take a good look at it again and see what it looks like. You can see it's a beautiful card, nice, clean, clear picture of it. And that's what the old Judge looks like. And the back of the card, again, it's just a blank card. And you can see, wipe it a little bit there, okay. Now you get a better look at the back. It's just a blank back. These were inserted in with cigarettes. And this is what one of the nicer examples of those cards will look like. So I'm going to move on to the next cards that I want to show you. And those are the T205. These are from 1911, and these were released even though the T206, the numbers, you know, T206 came before the T205. The T205s were released in 1911. The American Tobacco Company, they updated the white border cards, baseball theme insert cards in 1911 when it introduced the T205 gold border set. The T205 issue consisted of 209 different cards, each measuring 1 7/16 by 2 5/8. There are only 198 players in the set, even though there's 209 different cards. The main thing with this is, you know, again, it has an autograph, a fake, you know, facsimile autograph on there. It has a beautiful picture. You could kind of see more of a drawing type picture. It has, you know, they're different cards. Some of them have like the equipment. You could see the Maddie McIntyre. I'm going to show you, has some like the glove and the bat and all that stuff. So they have a lot of different looks, but they were all distributed in 1911. Another information on that is PSA has graded about 42,000 of these cards, which sounds like a lot, but if you compare it to the T205, where they've graded over 250,000, you can see there's a lot less, you know, less than a quarter of maybe 30% of the cards exist from the T205 and the T206, the regular white border that everybody knows. So I'm going to show you some of the cards here. I'm going to show you first the Mordecai Brown, and you could see the nice color picture, bright colors. And the main thing is that gold border. That gold border is just very, very susceptible to chipping. I mean, for any little thing, it just chips right off. It was just a beautiful card, a lot fancier than the T206. It was a lot more expensive to print, and that's one of the reasons they printed a lot less of them. But what I really, really like about it is that they actually did put the stats in the back and a description in the back. So it was really one of the first cards that actually talks about the player, shows their stats, you know, where the T206 and all the other ones, you know, don't, either they have a standard back or just a back that is a blank back. So here it talks about the player. And you can see Mordecai Brown. Actually, Mordecai Brown is the only pitcher that I know that pitched. He only had 3 fingers. They call them 3 fingers Browns. He only had 3 fingers. But he was an incredible pitcher. You can see some of his records there, 27-9 in 1909. So that's what it looks like. They do have different cigarette things on the bottom. This one is Honest Long Cut. And there's a couple of different versions there. But they're all about the same. There aren't any that are a lot rarer than others. A little bit rarer, but not too much. So I'm going to show you also another one here. This is a little bit better grade. This is a near mint 7 miscut, but this one looks like it just came out of the pack, and that's why I kind of want to show you that. Some minor little things in the corner there from the gold, but you can really see how clear that card looks, and you know, the quality of the printing with the bat and the glove. This is the white sock, so it has the white sock logo on the top, and it's just beautiful. They're beautiful cards, nicely printed, and very delicate cards, because any little thing on these cards will just chip the border and damage these cards. And you know, from 1911, over 100 and almost 100, over 110 years old, these cards are very difficult to get in good condition. And again, here's the back, and I wanted to show you this one because this has a different back. It has a sweet Caporal cigarettes, so they were inserted in different cigarette packs, and you can see Matty McIntyre's information, his record. So he batted .295 in 1908. Not one of the best hitters, but it's a great example of the card. The reason it says miscut, really in the back, you can see the back, it has the line from the other card, and it's missing the line a little bit on the bottom, so that's why it was designated a miscut. It really isn't that miscut from the front. As you can see, it does have a pretty good bottom border, just a little bit bigger top border, so more of an off-centered for me. But either way, it's a beautiful card. Matty McIntyre, 1911 T205 gold border card. And that's what they look like. So I'm gonna put these back, and now I wanna show you really the rarest cards, you know, from that era. And these cards are the 1909 Cuban Cabanas. They were produced the same year as the T206. Very similar as far as the printing, except that it actually they have photographs. These 1909 Cuban Cabanas cards are super tough Cuban issue. That includes some of the most important Negro League cards, most notably the Pete Hill rookie card and the Bruce Petway first card. This is a beautiful set that remains very, very scarce. The 1909 Cabana set is considered the earliest set of Cuban baseball cards. It was produced to commemorate a barnstorming tour that the Detroit Tigers took across Cuba in November after playing the 1909 World Series. So once they played the 1909 World Series, the Tigers did, and if I recall, the Tigers lost that World Series to Pittsburgh and Honus Wagner, where Honus Wagner actually outplayed Ty Cobb in that series, and they ended up winning the series. But after the series, the Detroit team went to Cuba to play some exhibition games over there. And Ty Cobb did not go, but they did make cards of the Detroit players and of the Cuban teams. So when they went over there, they played the two top Cuban professional teams, which were the Havana team and the Almendares team. And this is a card from the Almendares team. This is Raphael Almeida. Almeida was one of the Hall of Fame players in Cuba, and he also did play in the United States. He was a player here, so he did come and play here. He was third baseman. This is what the cards look like. These cards were extremely rare. PSA has only graded 44 of these cards, and the highest graded card that exists of these Cabanas is graded a 6. This is a 4, and there are actually only 2 cards graded for of this by PSA for Raphael Almeida by PSA. The backs of the cards show you exactly where they came from, and that was the Cuban Cabanas. So it says back here, the best way to form a beautiful collection of the game. And that's what it says. La mejor manera de formar una preciosa colección de los jugadores de béisbol de los clubes cubanos y extranjeros que nos visitan es fumando los afamados cigarros de Cabanas. Loosely translated, it says the best way to collect the baseball players from the Cuban clubs and the strangers clubs, which is Detroit, is to smoke the cigarettes of the Cabanas. So that's the translation that it says on the back. It's basically an advertising for the Cabanas cigarettes. Very few of these actually made it to the United States because, again, from 1909, most of these cards remained in Cuba, were destroyed, but a few of them did get over here. I want to show you another one of these Cabanas cards. And this is Esteban Prats. Again, another one, Almendares. The other 2 were the Havana. The Havana ones have a red border versus the blue border from the Havana team. And the Detroit Tigers team have a black border. Instead of the blue, it's black with the names and everything else on there. So I wanted to show you what these cards look like. They're extremely rare. This one is in good condition. Too, even though it's super sharp corners from 1909. The reason is because it does have a crease. If you can see the crease across his face right about here. I'm trying to get it before I say it. You can see a little crease in there. But either way, it's a beautiful card. It's from the 1909 Cabanas, Cuban Cabanas. I'll show you the back of it again. They're all the same. And the back is all the same. And it just talks about the collection, to collect these cards. So here we go. Just wanted to show you those rare cards. The first series of Old Judge that were actually made with the little banner on the top. The next series of the Old Judge cards over here. And then the T205s. And then the rarest of the 20th century cards, the 1909 Cuban Cabanas, these 2. Again, only 44 graded by PSA, and again, very few graded by SGC. So there's probably less. I know there's a lot less than 100 of these cards known to exist. But I did want to show you some cards that you may not have ever seen and give you a little bit of background on the Old Judge and the T205 sets. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe. And I hope that you go back and see some of my older videos. They're very, very nice collections of 19th century cards there, if you want to go back to the beginning of history of baseball cards. Thank you, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Have an awesome day. Take care. This is Orlando from Collector's Dream saying goodbye.